Hello and welcome, or welcome back to my channel, the Flow of Life Tarot. We are connecting with Source today and receiving messages direct from Source for your highest good and greatest well-being. Thank you for being here and bringing your presence and your energy. I invite you to take this as an opportunity to pause, to breathe, to take a moment for yourself, dropping into your body, allowing for a moment of stillness, calm, grace and ease. I invite you to receive whatever resonates with grace and release the rest with ease. You may receive messages that are unspoken. Trust your intuition. Whether the messages are for you or someone else, you are welcome to be a witness to the presence of this moment. Thank you for your presence. Okay, messages from Source. Thunder. This is very Uranian energy. We've had Uranus in Taurus for, well, at least a year, maybe longer, maybe 3. I'd have to double check that. For quite some time. It's a slow moving outer planet, so it will be some time. And it's been in Taurus. We have here the buffalo. I feel this is alluding to the 29th degree that Uranus is, I think, in or approaching in Taurus before it makes its move into Gemini. Upper world. Yeah, 56, 59. I like how if you were to turn these cards upside down, the 56 and the 59 sort of mirror each other. There's a sense that everything's going to turn upside down when Uranus moves into Gemini. And that feels very Gemini energy to me, with this sense of air, the clouds, this hawk. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have the spiral. Okay, I just had to pause that to do a little arranging. We want okay, 3 more cards. Okay, so I just had to pause to rearrange, but also to take a moment, because what was coming up with this was one storyline, And at the bottom of the deck we have the spiral, and the last card I just pulled from this was the Earth Keeper. What I'm getting from this is, from the next steps, there is someone who may be doubting their intuition and their connection with their intuition. Or not that they doubt it, that they know that they're intuitive and they trust that. But sometimes that critic still appears, and it's taken a different voice or a different guise. But there's still some form of an inner critic appearing. And what this is pointing to, that's on a side note, that it's important to be aware of this, because the level of transformation that's occurring right now, and the level of focus on Earth, especially that Earth angels and light workers and shadow workers and grid workers and empaths or intuitives, healers, way showers, whatever category or whatever label or whatever identification, essentially every soul who knows that they are here with a purpose that is a soul divinely guided mission. Well, you could say it is being challenged. There's always challenges in life, but there's a finessing of a process that's been occurring for a long time. And yes, whose message this is for, you are embodying your truth and your wisdom and your power and your knowledge and your sacred understanding. Yet the ego still wants to jump in and take control. And if it can't jump in and take control, then it's going to stand on the sides and criticize, and it's going to throw in tiny little drops of doubt, like drops of water. And okay, this is nothing new, but this is not an unknown process, but this message is an acknowledgement of that. And it's also saying not to worry about it, because so seeing with this, we have this beautiful sphere, which is like a big sphere of water, but then we also see droplets on the sphere. So to me, this is saying, yes, there may be little grains of doubt or drops of doubt, but they will run off like water runs off glass. Because this also could look like a crystal ball, although I feel it's water. So it's a sphere of water is how I feel this is. So not to worry about those if they've been coming up, those moments of second doubting and suddenly being in a state of concern. And if and when those moments do occur, you can look back through your path and see where you've been and what you've been through. This specifically follows this sort of flow, which I thought was interesting when this came out, because this is kind of like a serpent flow that we have here. Excuse me. We can see these as either steps in your life that you've been through and stages, or even in past lives, in different incarnations, where you're embodying different aspects. In truth, it could be a mixture of both, a mixture of your soul group and how your soul group has grown and evolved through various incarnations as well, because that information is shared and it raises the collective, not just of the soul group, but of all souls. And a reminder about grounding that energy in with the Earth Keeper wisdom. It's funny, I usually see orbs and planetary systems in most cards, but at the moment I just really had Uranus and Jupiter, the moon and the earth, the sun, the earth, the moon, Uranus and Jupiter. So Moon is moving into Cancer. We are in Cancer season. Jupiter is moving into Cancer, and Uranus will be moving into Gemini, I think in July. So we have Neptune in Aries, so we do have Neptune here with water, but yeah. Okay, and we're going to work some of the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot as well. I'm going to cut the deck 4 times for each shuffle. 10 of Swords, Queen of Wands. So yes, going from being very confident to being in self-doubt, that's what I'm seeing here. Flitting between. So that's an acknowledgement of that doubt still sometimes appearing. The imposter syndrome. Sudden flashbacks to past hurt and pain, yes. 3 of Wands, 3 of Swords, and the Queen of Wands again. So yes, being in one's power, feeling confident and great, and then suddenly being triggered. Memories of pain and stuff from the past, heartaches, even things that you felt that you already worked through. Casting the deck for the 3rd time. Yeah, 4 of Cups, Queen of Wands. So these sudden doubts, fears, imposter syndrome, sudden flashes, memories, are then creating this this energy, the 4 of Cups. Okay. Oh, perfect! I love that. And we've got the Chariot. I like that the Queen of Wands stayed at the bottom throughout. Sometimes it does change. So it's still acknowledging that you are in your power, but there's just been those moments of back and forth. And the Chariot is an acknowledgement of, well, we're going into Cancer season. I think it's going to be so all guns ahead, all guns blazing, all cannons forward. Something about moving ahead at a greater pace than you have done for a while. Yeah, so that feels like a good acknowledgement of what we were just talking about, plus good news, right? Okay, so let me get a card for Thunder. Okay, yeah. He's standing there with the world in his hand, ready to go on new shores. So a bit like Uranus, that's in the 29th, or coming up to the 29th degree of Gemini, of Taurus, and been there for a very long time, preparing to move into Gemini. And as are we, preparing to move into a next stage, looking forward. Okay, we get a card for Upper World. I have that beautiful Gemini feel. Air, like a vortex. It's like after a thunderstorm, the air clears. We see this vortex of air. I see like an owl or an eagle carrying a sphere as if from the underworld. So messages from the underworld coming up through this fresh air. Okay. We've got Justice and the Queen of Swords. Yeah, Gemini energy, Justice, Sword of Truth, and the scales, divine scales of justice. Also, the Queen of Swords wields the Sword of Truth. So this is very fresh air, clean justice. Okay. We get a card for the Moon. I feel this is about embodying all that we know and all of our seasons of our times, lifetimes, this lifetime. Fully embodying. Yeah. So divine feminines are being asked to step up and embody their divine masculine, their inner divine masculine, to face the challenges of overwhelm that may create within the body, mind-body system, psyche, and to work with that energy. So working in healthy ways with the divine sacred masculine internally and also externally, but the work we do is our inner work. Not getting lost in the process, just continuing to do the work and embodying the energies that you wish to see and bring forth and bring into the world. Enjoying the process as well, enjoying the delight of it without getting overwhelmed and lost in confusion. So there's a balance there that's required, and it's acknowledging that. And the way to ground that is to focus on the work, focus on that energy. Okay, card for the serpent, please. I have more information about the serpent. Okay, yeah, alchemizing, and one of the most positive, if not the most positive, abundant, happy card in the deck, the Sun. So we are alchemizing, we are being this mastery of self, which requires full mastery of our inner selves, our divine inner sacred masculine and feminine. I feel I repeat that a lot. And shining radiantly, being confident to shine. We see the serpent, the symbology just repeated, echoed in these cards. With the infinity. Okay, card for the mystical shaman, which is the name of the deck. Mystical, yeah. Just on the floor because I was not paying attention. Okay. Okay, this came face up, so I take that. We've got the Chariot, which is at the bottom before. So we're moving ahead, embracing our gifts and our shamanic, intuitive abilities, healing abilities. It's like more of these are coming online. This is why we're having to remember to pay attention to where we're putting our focus, where we're doing the work, holding that container for ourselves, which means that we are doing it also for the world, which means it then reciprocates and reverberates for all of us. Excuse me, my throat's gone dry. Okay, Tame the Wind, 55 is the master number. Can I get a card for this? Okay, King of Wands. So again, a reminder to be in all aspects of our divine feminine and divine masculine, and enjoying the process and using the alchemy of fire that we have within us. It's interesting that it's with taming the wind. You have to tame the wind in order to burn the fire. And if you think of wind as being the air element and the mind, mastery of one's own mind allows for the fire of inspiration and passion to burn. Which is why we are remembering that we are responsible for our magician being in our magi, mastering the elements, air, earth, water, fire. And it's acknowledgement of that, as well as a reminder. It's an acknowledgement that of how far you have come. It's this double-edged sword of reminding what's to be done and acknowledging what already has been done. You wouldn't be able to do this if you hadn't already done that. So yeah, the world, water. It's like astronauts say that when you look at the Earth from space, you see mostly blue. So we are a water world. by embodying the flow of your emotions, the world becomes your oyster. Okay, card for the Rainmaker. That's a lot of cards. So the Rainmaker, 10 of Cups, 4 of Cups, Queen of Wands popped out, 5 of Wands, and the Hierophant. Now I'm not going to take them all, but the story I feel is relevant for the Rainmaker because the Rainmaker can create the fruits that we seek to enjoy. Ultimately, the 10 of Cups. But we do have to go through all these different processes to get to that 10 of Cups. This was popping up at the beginning, the Queen of Wands, embodying that self-confidence, even when there's the doubts and the flipping between, even when there's strife and struggle, remembering what we've learnt and that higher learning and that high knowledge and embodying that. And I like the fact that this is 5-5. I feel that's important. So, Rainmaker. I'm going to get just one card from Rainmaker. Knight of Swords. Whatever it is coming in fast. Yeah. Again, having mastery over our emotions is what gives us the world. Much like taming the air means that we can fuel our passions and our fire. Queen of Wands came out again. I'm not going to keep all of those, but I'm taking the Queen of Wands as she was on top of that. There we go, Lovers. Just a reminder to continue to make choices that honour our path, where we have been and where we're going. And this feels more like a confirmation from Source that you've been doing all the right things and you are doing the right things. Right as in for your highest good and greatest well-being, and continue to trust that, and well done. You should feel good about yourself, feel happy. We get 3 more just to see if there's any more information about this. There's a lot of information here, a lot of cards on the deck. Got the King of Pentacles with, so I feel like this is stability in your spiritual life. For those of you that feel that your spiritual work hasn't been stable and it feels like you've been a long process of working towards things, maybe some of you even 7 decades of work, personal development and growth. Seeing sort of a Knight of Pentacles as well, energy, slow and steady, and honouring of the cycles. Every 7 years Saturn changes sign, which is why around the ages of 28 to 30 we get our first Saturn return. So someone here, if we're looking at Saturn as an an indicator, 7, 14, 21, 30. Okay, so someone could be, oh yeah, 7. Just doing my maths there. Yeah, so someone could be coming up for their next full Saturn return in a few years ahead. Is that right? 7, 14, 21, 28. Yeah, okay. All right. Something about Saturn cycles there. I think the maths wasn't quite adding up, but okay, victory, ones, yeah. Yeah. The hard work's been paying off. You are victorious already. Celebrate that. A watch kettle doesn't boil, so take time out to acknowledge all that you've done, all that you've achieved, all your successes. Celebrate that and acknowledge that. Yeah. Just wanted to get a couple more. Yeah. Again, going back to this theme of some self-doubts or kind of ego things just still occasionally trying to knock you out of your flow. These last two cards are a reiteration of that. Remember your strength and don't be deterred by the things that have made you feel sorrowful or grief or made you feel like you've had to walk away because it wasn't working, or actual circumstances where you had to. And look, this is 8, 8. So 5, 5 feels important and 8, 8 feels important. And we did have the 55 as well. So 5th of May, 8th of August, in this time period, something about Lionsgate at 8, 8 seems important. That feels, yeah, very beautiful. So that's someone's message, and I hope that helped. I hope you received the messages you needed to and wanted to. And thank you for being here, and thanks for your energy, and see you again soon. Okay, take care.